Hello and welcome, Capricorn. This is going to be a zodiac specific reading for the coming phase. Whenever you see this, we trust that it's going to be the right time for the messages that you need to hear. We're going to start out with a blind channeling. Again, if you haven't seen this before, this is something I've tried in the past where I take a note card and one of the zodiac signs written on the back of each of the note cards, and then blindly pulling each one up, doing a little bit of a channeling on the impressions, feelings, and thoughts that came through. This is attempting to look into specific matters regarding love and finance. But I found that whatever came through was whatever it was necessary for you at that time. So take whatever resonates, leave the rest for the other general audience viewers that need to hear those messages. And let's go ahead and get started. We've just got the channeling, about 4 oracle cards, and then we'll do a little bit of Akashic tarot to get a little bit more insight into the matter. So the first thing that came through was the problem with being psychic is that you can't lie to yourself for too long. So I don't know if there's something that has been attempted to be glossed over or something that you haven't wanted to look directly at, but there's something coming to light. There's a revelation that there's a timeline shift upon you and that there's some type of circumstance that you're outgrowing. There's some level of attachment energy, something that is being held on to because it's the familiar. So comfort seeking or playing small is a cycle that's closing out for you right now. So needing to make those difficult switches and admissions in some type of way to come back into your full power. So reclaiming your power and your voice. There may be a gentle declaration after much deliberation. Then I was hearing this song, What's Love Got to Do with It? Which I do believe is a Tina Turner song, and many of us know the Ike and Tina story on some level where there was a lot of abusive, toxic issues at play that were being glossed over, and the public was not aware of the depth of what was at play there. So some type of toxic romance, and again, being a general message, this does not have to be an intimate one-to-one partnership or relationship. This could be some type of family dynamic or friendship dynamic that's playing out, where it's like you very much love a person, but there's some toxic patterns or something like that at work, at play. So toxic romance, and then I was hearing the antibody or gaining immunity. So some level up has occurred where now that issue is seen and overcome and no longer necessary. Again, outgrowing that circumstance. And so karma closed, as in case closed. Stories perhaps being told about your finances. I don't know if this is a rumor or assumptions being made, but these stories hold no weight. This could also be an internal thought about you don't have enough money to make it on your own, or that you don't have the resources on reserve to be able to move away from a toxic workplace environment and onto something else. Could be any type of situation where maybe there was a lot of love, but because of the toxicity, it's like, well, love is abundant and everywhere, and love is not really going to hold as much weight any longer if the toxicity has come to a point where you can no longer deny that something else needs to evolve here. So hold your head high. Your life speaks for you. There's a healthy pride moving forward. You've already been succeeding on your own in some type of partnership, and without some type of dead weight, you're going to be able to take flight. So there's an end of some type of financial drain. And then there was something about plugged channels, plugged drains, unclogging those blockages is going to allow greater abundance to flow to you now. So, clearing the way moving forward. So, let's get into your oracle messages. First off, the totem animal is heron, patience. That's a nice one. Create a place in nature's stillness and be renewed. Take time alone to find balance. Step confidently towards your purpose. Patience will bring you rewards. Shared inspiration with these beautiful smiling dolphins. Looks like a baby there in the foreground, so maybe parents and a child. Shared inspiration number 20 reminds me of the Judgment card. Throw yourself into a new project. Be willing to let go of time constraints and rules and really be aware of whatever fulfills your heart. So maybe more time with family here is necessary. And we've got 2 from the Love Notes Oracle deck. Think of somebody very, very special to you. Now feel yourself bursting with love for them. And then mentally shower, drench, and I interject, soak yourself in that feeling of love and connectivity and value and worthiness. And then, with that same bursting love for them, shower and drench and soak them in that love. And then they go on to say, now mentally shower, drench, and soak yourself in my love, perhaps being the love of the universe. Now feel it always, the universe. You might not know now, but you will. So have patience. Something is coming to light that will help you to share in universal inspiration and have the guts and gusto, I'm hearing, to move forward in some way. Most people are just trying to survive. Isn't that the truth? Most people are not quite to the level where they can really invest in their ability to thrive. They're just barely getting by. Just remember, most people are so beguiled by your charm, awed by your confidence, and inspired by your choices, they simply forget to say thank you, please, and I love you like crazy, as often as they feel the urge. Let's not be one of those people. Thank you, please, I love you like crazy, the universe. So there's some type of perhaps emotional, but perhaps mental shutdown underway here, where because of the need to deliberate before a declaration, which is probably or possibly in some situations this I love you like crazy declaration here, there's something here where the karma that is putting pressure on the situation doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship is bad. It could be an old karmic cycle falsely influencing a good situation. However, with toxic romance on the channeled messages, do beware and protect your energies. Let's see what the Akashic Tarot has to say for you. Okay, 1, and we'll take this one. All right. Flying out, we have the King of Scrolls, that King of Swords energy. Definitely talks about more logic, mental energy, rather than emotional outlay here. Perhaps this can sometimes also talk about exes and estranged relationships, and could potentially talk about either a boss, possibly a masculine, somebody in their masculine achiever energy, or a father figure in some type of a way. And this definitely also can represent yourself. The other one that came out is 8 of Scrolls. Again, with that Scrolls mental energy, the truth energy, many paths here, paths unknown. There are some birds here trying to catch your attention, a squirrel, a raccoon, and a fox as she deliberates on which way to go forward. She has a lot of knowledge there in that bag at her feet. And so she's gathered a lot of insights and information. And it's as though with that King of Scrolls and the Paths Unknown, it's like there's been some level of mastery, and now everything's kind of packed up and there's a new venture on the horizon. So this may be you gathering up your belongings from a job or a partnership and moving forward, or this can also be you being in your own environment, your home space, and producing something with a lot of plans and research going into it, a lot of pouring your own mental capacity into this endeavor, and then packing that up and going out and saying, okay, now what, how do I apply that next? Let's see if we can bring this together here. All of this mental energy. And we have birth, number 4, major arcana. So that's an interesting one. This motherly influence with 2 children, and there's a puppy over in the distance here. It's a really beautiful depiction of the wholesomeness of time spent with family out on a play date, maybe a picnic or something, out wild gathering flowers. And it has a lot of wholesomeness, like I say, a lot of structure and connectivity, but how much time do we actually get to put towards those endeavors? And so I feel like that's related to this. Most people just trying to survive. It may be time to put some type of toxic cycle off onto well on its way out of your life, so that you can reclaim some of your time, energy, and attention to put towards these more wholesome activities, maybe time spent with loved ones, family, friends, outings, or even being alone out in nature with pets, because it's like somebody's maybe going out into the forest to get lost for a little while to find themselves. And then we have Adsum, number 22, major arcana. This talking about the research time and potentially guides, guardians, ancestors, or even your mediumship capacity, being able to perceive of the other influences around you. These even can be people in your living world as well, because we do see a gentleman in the background carrying some books in. I don't know if this is something like at the library or at your place of employment where people are kind of around you, you're doing your main thing, but then your attention is distracted or called beyond the focus moment. And it looks like there are factors or insights coming to your awareness that are calling your attention into new directions, to these unknown paths, and something coming out for you there. We have, to finish this up, falling out, we have the Akashic Library. There we have it, the library, folks. I don't know if the library is a place that you might consider visiting, or if you have a library in your home that's your place of solace, or if books bring you some type of solace, guidance, or something like that, or if you're writing a book. There's something here about, with the Akashic Library, your ability to channel insights from even the collective, even beyond your lifetime experience in this incarnation, so to speak, or literally, and to tap into some deeper nuances and to somehow record them and create your own balance from that space. Below that was the Queen of Forces. This is the Queen of Wands card, and she's showing up with a very powerful ability here to balance both light and dark attributes, aspects of self, situation, and so on. And this is creating a great it's like the energetic ripple effect that happens. And so when light and dark are balanced, or when we bend light, it becomes prismatic. Instead of imprisoning, we have the prism. And so it's like releasing your light, acknowledging your dark. And she stands poised and balanced between all of this, empowered, not devoured by her process. And it makes her powerful, perhaps intimidating, especially since we have most people being beguiled by your charm, confidence, inspired by your choices. Somebody places you on a pedestal, and perhaps there's some level of envy, jealousy, or resentments at play here that are interfering with this new beginning. And lastly, we have Uriel and the Sphinx, number 21. Again, we already had 22, so we do have a sequential uh, number of cards here. Uriel and the Sphinx, I do believe Uriel is also part of the protectors. Um, but with the Sphinx, this is talking about guidance through perhaps trickster, confusing, chaotic energies, the mystery of life unraveling one piece by intricate piece, and that we can't rush ourselves, especially with this hair and patience on the deck, to move through these decisions, or else we may miss some of the information here that is trying to perhaps whisper in your ear and delight your senses and sensibilities. And underneath the deck, initiation of the Count Saint Germain with the violet flame. So this could be you gathering with crowds in spiritual practices, in healing practices, maybe some type of um, group enterprise where there's a lot of sharing, caring, and bonding at play. And this can also be you activating the principle within your own energy here to both work with that energy to transmute and transcend any difficulties and rise above and hold yourself high here to close out that chapter of karma and to rebirth this beautiful abundance and shared inspiration here that's ready and waiting to flow to you now. So I hope that those messages spoke to you in some type of a way, and so much love to your journey at this time. And until next time, Capricorn, take good care of yourself.